Turkey post-coup crackdown nets 50,000 people. Turkey suspended or detained about 50,000 people following a failed coup over the weekend as it intensifies its vast purge, battering the country's security forces and many of its democratic institutions. Teachers, journalists, police and judges alike have been caught in a net the authorities are casting wider by the day, in what is increasingly looking like a witch hunt to suppress dissent. How safe are U.S. Nukes in Turkey? The Turkish president's supporters celebrate after soldiers surrendered on Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge. Western leaders urged President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his government to respect democratic principles and act within the law even as authorities talk of reviving the death penalty and heavy-handed punishments over the coup. Who has been caught in the net? Read more photos. Military coup in Turkey. A photo showing a mass detention in Ankara, where dozens of detainees were forced to kneel, partially stripped. Hide caption. One of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Images circulating widely in mainstream Turkish media show Akin Ozturk, a four-star general and former commander of the Turkish Air Force, in police custody in Ankara. In this image he has a white bandage over his right ear. Hide caption. 2 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Ozturk also appears in another picture, which has been verified by CNN, which shows some of the 27 men accused by the Erdogan government of having led Friday's failed coup in Turkey. Hide caption. 3 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A man waves the Turkish flag from the roof of a car during a march around Kizilay Square on Saturday, July 16 in Ankara, Turkey, in reaction to the attempted military coup. Hide caption. 4 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Damaged vehicles are seen outside the presidential palace in Ankara. Hide caption. 5 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People kick and beat the Turkish soldier who participated in the attempted coup on Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge. Government officials said the coup appeared to have failed as Turks took to the streets overnight to confront troops attempting to take over the country. Hide caption. 6 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Women react after people took over a military position on the Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption. 7 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People gather outside the Turkish Parliament in Ankara during an extraordinary session after the failed coup attempt. Hide caption. 8 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkey Prime Minister Binali Yildirim addresses the Turkish Parliament after the failed coup attempt. Hide caption. 9 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A protester rests on a bench as smoke billows from the Turkish military headquarters in Ankara. Hide caption. 10 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People stand under a huge Turkish flag during a march around Kizilay Square in Ankara in reaction to the attempted coup. Hide caption. 11 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Members of the Turkish military surrender on Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge on after a failed coup attempt. Hide caption. 12 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People protesting against the coup wave the Turkish flag on top of a monument in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 13 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Clothes and weapons belonging to soldiers involved in the coup attempt are scattered on Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption 14 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A Turkish police officer in Istanbul embraces a man on a tank in the wake of the violence overnight. Hide caption 15 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Smoke billows from the direction of the presidential palace in Ankara on July 16. Hide caption 16 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People gather on top of a Turkish military tank in Ankara in the morning after the coup attempt. National intelligence officials said the coup was put down and that the government remains in control. Hide caption 17 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish people wave national flags from a car in Istanbul. Hide caption 18 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People gathered around a car damaged by a tank in Kizilay Square early on July 16. Hide caption 19 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People take to the streets near the Fatih Sultan Mehmet Bridge during clashes with military forces in Istanbul. Hide caption 20 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People escape the clashes in Ankara early Saturday. Hide caption 21 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Tanks move into position as Turkish citizens attempt to stop them in Ankara. Hide caption 22 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Citizens in Shivias rush to the streets during the chaotic coup attempt. Hide caption 23 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A man approaches Turkish military with his hands up at the entrance to the partially closed Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul. Hide caption 24 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A wounded man is given medical care at the entrance to the Bosphorus Bridge in Istanbul after clashes with Turkish military. Hide caption 25 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People react in front of the Justice and Development Party's headquarters in Ankara. Hide caption 26 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Soldiers secured an area as supporters of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan protest in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 27 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish military members make their way through the streets of Istanbul. Hide caption 28 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Supporters of President Recep Tayyip Erdogan protest in front of soldiers in Istanbul's Taksim Square. Hide caption 29 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan speaks on CNN Turk via a FaceTime call in Istanbul after members of the country's military attempted to overthrow the government. Hide caption 30 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers block Istanbul's iconic Bosphorus Bridge. Hide caption 31 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish security officers detain police officers, seen in black, in Istanbul, during a security shutdown on the Bosphorus Bridge. Turkey.Hide Caption 32 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A military airplane is seen flying over Turkey. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan urged people to take to the streets and stand up to the military. Hide Caption 33 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. People take cover near the Bosphorus Bridge as military airplanes fly overhead. Hide Caption 34 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers are seen on the Asian side of Istanbul. Hide Caption 35 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. A Turkish security officer stands guard on the side of the road. Hide Caption 36 of 37 photos. Military coup in Turkey. Turkish soldiers block Istanbul's Bosphorus Bridge. Hide Caption 37 of 37. The purge has gutted the country's security forces, with at least 118 generals and admirals detained, stripping the general rank command of the Turkish military by a third, according to Turkish state broadcaster RT. Authorities have also suspended 8,777 Ministry of Interior personnel, mostly police, as well as 100 Turkish intelligence service personnel, according to the semi-official Anatolia news agency. Here is a tally of who has been affected. According to Anatolia, 21,000 teachers in private institutions have had their licenses revoked. 15,200 education ministry personnel have been suspended and are under investigation. 2,745 judges and prosecutors have been listed for detention, although it is unclear if they have all been detained. 1,577 deans have been asked to resign. Author departments have also lost hundreds of staff members, including 370 people suspended from state broadcaster TRT, according to CNN Turk. The Prime Minister's office and government bodies dealing with religious affairs, family and social policy and development have been suspended. The total is around 50,000 people. Soldiers sent for president told target. A terrorist soldier sent to apprehend Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during the attempted coup were told they were to capture an important terrorist leader, according to the country's state-run Anadolu agency. The soldiers involved in the president's apprehension were informed of the details of the coup as they were being airlifted to a hotel in a resort town where Erdogan and his family were vacationing during Friday's deadly attempted takeover. It is unclear how many soldiers participated in the attack, during which two of Erdogan's bodyguards were killed, and it is unclear how loyal the troops were, given that they were briefed on the coup so late in proceedings. Security sources told Anadolu that suspected links to the coup were interrogated in the city of Izmir on Monday. More, who is man blamed for coup? Meanwhile, Erdogan's military aide, Lieutenant Gol Erkan Kivirak, has been taken into custody in southern Turkey for alleged ties to the plotters, according to Anadolu. Two other officers accused of being part of the coup leadership were remanded in custody when they appeared separately in court late Tuesday, the military official said. Lieutenant General Metin Dil, commander of the Land Forces Training and Doctrine Command, and the Chief of General Staff's former legal advisor, Kal Muharrem Kos, appeared in court in Ankara, the official told Anadolu on condition of anonymity. The exact charges against the two officers were not specified. WikiLeaks releases emails. Whistleblower site WikiLeaks seems to think Turkey's purge has spread to cyberspace. It said it has come under a sustained cyber attack after announcing on social media its plan to leak hundreds of thousands of documents on Turkish power. The WikiLeaks website on Tuesday evening leaked 300,000 emails and thousands of documents in the wake of the failed coup. Access to the documents is restricted in Turkey due to violation of privacy and publication of illegally obtained data, the Turkish official told CNN. The website appeared operational Tuesday, and WikiLeaks said it planned to go ahead with publishing the number-sign Erdogan emails, adding that all 300,000 were internal to Erdogan's Justice and Development Party. The most recent emails were sent July 6 and the oldest dates back to 2010, the group said. It was unclear when the other 500,000 documents would be released. The organization said the emails date up until July 7. Rivals extradition request. Tuesday, Turkey formally requested the extradition of cleric Fethullah Gulen from the United States, the Prime Minister said Tuesday, as the government widens its purge following a failed military coup over the weekend. U.S. President Barack Obama spoke with his Turkish counterpart Tuesday about the coup and the status of the popular figure, who is in self-imposed exile in Pennsylvania. Just watch Who is Fethullah Gulen? Replay your videos. Must watch Who is Fethullah Gulen? 03:56 Obama once again strongly condemned the coup attempt and expressed his support for Turkish democracy, according to a White House news release. The U.S. leader said that his administration would provide appropriate assistance to Turkish authorities investigating the attempted coup, but the statement did not specify if this would include extraditing Gulen. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said that any formal extradition request would be evaluated under the terms of a treaty between the two countries. "We've been clear that that is an evidence-based process," Earnest told reporters Tuesday. Exclusive. Erdogan vows revenge. Erdogan blames Gulen, a long-time bitter rival, for the attempted coup that began Friday night, leaving at least 232 people dead and leading to mass arrests and dismissals. He told CNN in an exclusive interview Monday that the extradition request was coming soon. Prime Minister Binali Yildirim announced the request Tuesday in Parliament and on Twitter referred to Gulen as a terrorist leader. The Muslim cleric has denied any involvement in the coup attempt. Gulen, in a statement released Tuesday, said Erdogan once again demonstrated he will go to any length necessary to solidify his power and persecute his critics. "It is ridiculous, irresponsible and false to suggest I had anything to do with the horrific failed coup. I urge the U.S. government to reject any effort to abuse the extradition process to carry out political vendettas." The reclusive cleric leads a popular movement called Hizmet, which includes hundreds of secular co-ed schools, free tutoring centers, hospitals and relief agencies credited with addressing Turkey's social problems. Can Gulen be extradited? Under the U.S.-Turkey extradition agreement, Washington can only extradite a person if he or she has committed an extraditable act. Treason. such as the implied by Erdogan's demand for Gülen's extradition, is not listed as such an act in the country's treaty. Does the U.S. have to extradite Gülen? When asked what evidence the government had that Gülen was behind the coup, Deputy Prime Minister Numan Kurtulmuş said Tuesday that the attempt itself was the biggest piece of evidence, and that Turkey would provide thousands of pieces of evidence to the United States of Gülen's involvement.